Welcome to the Open to Hope Show. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Horsley, with my daughter and co-host,
Dr. Heidi Horsley.
Well, Heidi, we have got a wonderful show today with a wonderful young man who we met in Parkland, Florida after the school shooting down there. That, if people remember that on the news, very tragic, 17 people were killed. It was February, I believe, 14th of 2018, and we went down, a couple of months later, Heidi, with the Bob Ressanini Healing Hearts Foundation. And that's where we met our guest dad, who is an amazing guy who worked for the Marriott and had set up for a healing day down there that we were involved in.
Yeah, so yes, like you said, after Parkland, we went down there a few months later to do a day of healing with the Bob Ressanini Foundation. And our guest today is Sohaib, okay, I'm going to get this right. Sohaib Qureshi, right, Sohaib?
Yeah.
Okay, so we met him, and his father donated the Marriott, was able to donate the Marriott because he's the manager there, for us to have this day of healing. And Sohaib is a remarkable teenager, I have to say. I'm going to give you a shout out. You're amazing. He did this incredible rap song, which we were going to play today in honor of the 17 people that died, and he knew all of them, and he pays tribute to all of them. And one of his very best friends died that day, Helena. And Sohaib is just remarkable. He is enrolled in both high school and pre-med classes at a college level at the same time. He is a survivor of the 2018 Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School shootings in Parkland, Florida. And he has written this song in honor of the 17. And we're going to talk to him today about how do kids and teenagers survive after this and thrive and go on, and how has he done? So Sohaib, welcome to the show. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great having you on. Talk a little bit about that day. Where were you?
Well, I mean, I don't really like to talk about that day much, but I was with my Spanish teacher, and so what happened was we were just working on a group project, and then all of a sudden the fire alarm went off, and the weird part about it was that the fire alarm had gone off 2 periods ago. So we weren't expecting another one. You know, we had the drill for the day, and that's why we were just like, oh, maybe there's like faulty wiring, or they're just trying to trick us, because literally 1 month before that, all the teachers were talking about these new procedures and stuff, like for code reds and code blacks and fire drills, and they completely renewed the procedure system. And then all of a sudden they're testing us on, you know, now there's a fire drill, we go outside, and then they yell code red, and we're running back inside. So at first we thought that, oh, they're just testing out the new procedures, that they're trying to trick us to see how we react in sort of a real life type of situation. So at first we weren't at all worried. And then somehow we got news that there was a school shooting.
Wow.
And then in the distance you hear gunshots. And that's when you know it's real. At first, I still thought that maybe they're just firing off blanks to try and scare us or something, but that wasn't the case. And what happened was, when going back inside the hallway after they yelled code red, downstairs from my Spanish class is the auditorium. So most of the kids went into the auditorium, but half of us that were in the back of the pack, we got locked out basically, and we had to run back upstairs. Like, half of them were cut off from us as they were yelling us to run back upstairs because of code red, and the other half were told to go downstairs into the auditorium.
That must have been terrifying, Sohaib. Here you are, not able to get into the auditorium and having to turn back and run the other way. Not knowing what's going on and not knowing where the shooter was. Must have been really, really terrifying.
Horrible experience. I wanted to ask you, in retrospect now, it's you finished the school year and that kind of thing. What kind of things were most supportive for you after the loss and your friends?
So the most supportive things are close friends. Like, I hung out with my friends a lot after that, well, because we all were really close friends with Helena, and we all just stuck together, and because of that we were able to help each other heal after, you know, feeding off of each other's pain. Like, we knew what each other was going through because we were all her friend, and that's why I think just close friends are the best thing. And then for the rap, I've just I've been writing like songs and poems and stuff since I was in, I think, maybe 8th grade. And so when I write, it's just like I have an overflow of emotion for some reason, whether I'm angry or I'm sad or I'm just really extremely happy, and then I just start writing. So then there was one night I was just up, and all I could think about was Helena, and all I could hear were the gunshots, and then I was just overflowed, and it was like 2 a.m. And then I just pulled out a notebook and a pencil, and I just started writing, and that's how I just made the rap.
I don't
Walaikum
know.
salam.
I
Hello,
don't
everyone.
Mom,
Hi.
I remember meeting Sohaib's uncle at Parkland, and this family is phenomenal, I have to tell you. There is so much love in this family, and they are so close. And I love how Uncle just all of a sudden shows up online, and he's like, "Here to support you, surprise!" Because
Surprise.
it's a testament to this family. I mean, I looked at the family, and they are all doing this together. They are a unit. They are going to get through this somehow, and they're going to do it as a family. Am I right about that?
Yeah,
That's
my
correct.
family was really supportive during it too. They all made sure that I was as happy as I could be. My cousins came and visited me all the time, and yeah.
Now, did your grades suffer, and do you know if your fellow classmates did? How the school
Yeah,
deal with
a lot
it?
of our grades suffered, especially in like the fourth quarter. Nobody could really like, handle it. In the third quarter, the thing is that when we got back, we didn't do much in school, so our grades stayed fine. But then it was in the fourth quarter when we started getting back into the curriculum. Not everybody was really ready, and not everybody could really focus while being in that same setting that everything happened in. So most of our grades suffered a little bit.
And that's junior year for you, right?
Junior year, yeah.
The big year when everybody's saying, "This is it. You've got to do it
Yeah.
now. This is going to impact your college," and kids are under pressure anyway without this whole
Yep.
experience. Did you ever feel like dropping out? And did anybody else?
No, not really. I've never thought of dropping out of high school, not even then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did other friends do that, or how did people?
They didn't drop out, but I know other friends that transferred, or they did everything they could, and they just switched to being in online classes, or they graduated early. They tried to do everything they could to graduate early to just get out of school.
Abdur,
Uh-huh.
Uncle of Sahib, give us your take on this. What did you see with these kids, and how did the community rally, and what did you see with your nephew?
Um, I saw, let's say, it was a tragedy, very tragic. It's something on a proportion that I had never seen before. When it initially happened, and actually I saw the thing unfold, like during the news while I was at work. And when I realized that it was that school, I reached out to my son and some other family members. And I was like, "Whoa, this is Sohaib's school." So we checked his cousin. Immediately started, they're like text geniuses and whatnot. So they were texting back and forth to make sure he was okay. So he was barricaded in some room or whatever. Everybody was going for safety, and so it was a big concern over that. And then he was like gone. We didn't hear from him for a while. Communications broke down. I don't know what happened at the school, if they made him hang up the phones or whatever. So everybody was kind of like in a stressful panic mode for the moment until later that evening, let's say around 8 p.m., when finally I stayed in touch with his father. And they around 8 o'clock, they told me they finally located him. And his father was like the banquet manager at the hotel that they use as a staging ground for all the kids and survivors and everybody to meet there, because it's not far from the school. So once that happened, I had anticipated going down the area from West Palm Beach down to Parkland, but I was like looking at the news and everything. Traffic was just so horrendous, and so many people were out and everything. So I was like, I'll just give it a few days to die down. But when that happened, at first you just look at the catastrophe of it, of what it was. But later on, it was amazing to see how these kids just immediately, like within hours or days, channeled this thing into something different. I don't know if it was like just a reaction from them to lash back out, but they did it very strategically and very positively, you know, and the fact that they wanted to eliminate this gun control thing. I mean, this gun violence that's especially happening in the school. And they
And
just
Sahib his rap. Are you involved with him with his raps?
Yeah,
Sohaib, yes.
the whole reason that it's like it was made, like I just wrote it, and then he was the one with all the connections to the engineer and the studio, and he like did the whole process, all the paperwork, making me get on Spotify and like Amazon Music. Just everything was him.
All
It was
right.
all him.
Guys were a good team. You guys were a good team, it sounds like.
Yeah, we were a good team on that. But the thing about it, I kind of like took the lead on that because I didn't want it to overwhelm them. When I saw the poem that he had written, he had put so much detail in it, and it hit me so hard that it was like so overwhelming because he touched bases on every student, and it was something that I was like,
17.
yeah, 17, and it was
17
like,
and talked about the coach and
yes,
all that
the
kind
way
of
he
thing.
did it with
It's
the
amazing.
details in it. I was like, did you write this? And he's like, yeah. I said, well, you put a lot into this. He said, yeah, I had to study it, research it, and a lot of it he knew friends firsthand. So he put it all together, and I was like, wow, this is a good work of art. Not only is it a good work of art, piece of art, but it kind of like gives closure, or not really closure. It's not going to be such a thing as closure to those families, but it acknowledges them and gives
rather
hope.
than closure, it kind of gives an opening to the heart.
It does, and a lot of them were appreciative of it. Like the coach's wife, I think just last week or week before, we had it on Twitter, and she was like, "Oh, it was more than just students that died." And we explained to her, "Yeah," and the song it explains about the teachers. It mentions each and every person that died from that school. And
Right.
then
Hey,
she
we're
was
going to
like,
play
"Oh
it
my
right
God."
now. Sahib, do you want to say something about it before we play it?
Maybe like 2.5, 3 days, because I had to do a lot of research and I talked to a lot of people to like write the words that were in it about like the 17 victims, because I wanted there to be a special part for each and every single one of them. So I had to do a lot of research for that. Mainly what all it is like I just did it for Helena. Like everything I'm doing right now, the song especially, is just for Helena.
Awesome. Well, let's hear it right now, and then we'll talk about it a little bit after.
911, what is your emergency? Hello, 911, ma'am, go ahead. My son is in Stoneman Douglas High School. He said he heard noises and talk, and he thinks there's a shooting going on at the school.
Salam.
Hello? Hello?
It was a great day, I made a new friend. I was actually happy, ain't no need to pretend. For a period, I'm chillin', doing my work. And all of a sudden, it all went berserk. Fire alarm rang, gunshots bang. Thank God for my teachers and AP Lang. It was the drill the student said. Then your friend shot in the head. He's just a kid, they try to shout. He don't know what he did. Man, get the hell out. Mentally ill? What the hell does that mean? That doesn't make up for those 17? 17 lives gone for nothing. 17 friends gone without warning. 17 families that shouldn't be mourning. 17 beauties eternally snoring. 17 kids won't wake up in the morning. 17. 17. 17? Shout out the boy Glock, coolest kid on the block. Red Martin, that boy, so alive and full of joy. Alyssa only 14, an amazing soccer queen. Nick, bro, you were picked up by the swim team. University of Indy, he was living his dream. Mr. Beagle, you wasn't just a teacher, you was a friend. A truly precious life that didn't have to end. Coach Vice, man, you was so damn chill. Riding that golf car with you was such a thrill. Jamie, you were too young to leave, but Gutenbergs, together we grieve. Coach Hickson, our sports now has an empty vessel. All you ever wanted was the teachers to wrestle. Yo, you were such a happy kid, Luke. Now we crying so hard, we damn near puke. Kara, you you just love to dance. Every time you pranced, everyone was put in a trance. Gina, a valuable asset to our color guard. Now that you're gone, it's way too hard. Elena, girl, you love to volunteer and serve. A bullet was the furthest thing from what you deserve. Meadow, so lovely and full of energy, but you always live on in all memories. Alex, man, you were a friend no one wanted to lose. Now everyone wearing your custom-made shoes. Carmen, you were smart, a goddamn scholar. National merit was about to give you a holler. Peter Wayne, dog, you were legendary. Holding that door open like it wasn't even scary. Damn. Helena, my friend, I've known you since elementary. You saved your classmates' lives with such chivalry. Now we're out 17. 17? 17 lives gone for nothing. 17 friends gone without warning. 17 families that shouldn't be mourning. 17 beauties eternally snoring. 17 kids won't wake up in the morning. 17. 17. 17? No more beef, man, let's let the slate clean. Pick up our head from all phone screens. Have a moment of silence for the 17. I know how bad we all hurting. Somewhere else the grass is more green. Cut me some slack, I'm a young suffering teen. Mourning the loss of 17. They're gone, man, never ever to be seen. But our light finna gleam as long as y'all remember 17. And I know the road ahead is painful and long, but I know you'll agree, cause I'm not wrong when I say always be positive, passionate, and MSD strong. 17 lives gone for nothing. 17 friends gone without warning. 17 families that shouldn't be mourning. 17 beauties eternally snoring. 17 kids won't wake up in the morning. 17. 17. 17? 17? 17? 17? 17?
Wow, that really takes you to the magnitude of the situation. And what a nice tribute. But also, it's incredible to think of what you've been through, your fellow students and everyone, and what you've made out of it. Congratulations.
Such a great tribute to the 17 that died that day. It's really pretty unbelievable that you were able to do that. It sounds like it helped you in your grieving, has it? Sohaib, to write that?
Yeah, to write it helps, like, just release your emotions and, make something out of it. It makes you feel better.
The biggest thing is that we create a platform here where we can, because the movement, I told them there are different ways we can do this. And we decided to stay with the grassroots ways. And we wanted to stay in connection with the March for Our Lives movement and promote the ideals and things that they had are putting together. So we wanted to be an ongoing, evolving type thing. This is something that is transcending in history and time for years to come.
Well, Sahib, before we close the show, tell us about your future plans.
Future plans. Well, mostly I just want to go to college at UCF and go into sports medicine.
Oh, wow.
Because I've always loved sports, especially basketball. I'm like obsessed with basketball. Miami is my favorite team. And then I learned about sports medicine, which is being a doctor for a sports team. And that just sounded like something I'd be really interested in because I love biology. My parents would love for me to become a doctor. I can make them happy and make myself happy. That's mostly my future.
There's a lot of teenagers out there that are grieving, Sahib, and you are basically an expert on teen grief because you've been through this horrific thing.
Yeah.
I want to know what advice you have for teenagers out there that have had a loss.
That have had a loss. Stay close to your friends that you had that were friends with the person that you lost, and if not, just any close friends. Because honestly, like nobody really understands you like your friends do, and they're the ones that helped me out with it the most. Friends and even family, because my family was really supportive. That's mostly it. Friends and family, they're the best. And if you haven't ever tried writing, it's a really great tool to release all your emotions.
Thank you, Sahib. That's great advice. I love that.
Thank
Yep.
you.
It's been great having you on the show, Sahib. Thanks for
Thank
being
you so
on
much. Thanks for having me.
and that you're willing to come out and be a support to all the people that have had these losses. And I want to thank also your uncle for coming on, Abdur.
You're more than welcome. Thank you all for giving us a platform to express ourselves.
I love that family support, don't you, Heidi?
Oh, absolutely. This family has got a heart of gold, I will tell you. Thank you, Uncle, for coming on too. I love seeing the support, and I love seeing the collaboration. And I love that you took this and ran with it, Uncle Abdur. I love that you did this and got it out there.
Well, again, thank you both for being on the show. And we want to thank everybody for watching this show today. And we want to remind you always that if you've lost hope, please lean on ours until you find your own, and God bless.